you're slow, you don't feel like you're doing much of anything, but maybe you are. When you're slow, you lose your sense of responsibility because you're not in on the things that are happening that matter. And when you're slow, one of the things you get better at is making excuses. And you also increasingly are hard to reach by other people, which is something that I notice as I try to mediate between Ukrainians and Americans in these conversations. I don't mean to be, express this as pathos, but it is really very different to be in Ukraine and see your best people getting killed day after day than it is to be in Washington and say, okay, well, of course it's normal to have a vacation at this time of year, and this is what Congress always does. That difference can lead to a point where it's very hard for them to communicate with us, but it's also very hard for us to listen. Insofar as we treat our slowness as normal, then the way that Ukrainians live day after day after day starts to seem abnormal and therefore incomprehensible and therefore something that we just prefer to screen out. And I think that process has gone pretty far. And it's a shame that that process has gone as far as it has, because now we are contributing. As I say, we Americans are the major variable here. The Ukrainians and the Russians are much closer to constants. We're the major variable, and we've created, I think we are creating this conjuncture where it can all collapse again. And we'll be very, as I say, we'll be very surprised when it does. It won't occur to us that this is our fault. How can it be our fault for doing nothing or next to nothing? But that's exactly why it will be our fault. And to repeat, this is where I'm going to close, if we do reach another conjuncture, and if this timeline collapses back into that timeline, we will lose very much indeed, and we will lose it very quickly. There will be something like genocide in Ukraine. There will be a terrible blow to the international legal order if this invasion succeeds. The model of the European Union will be seriously challenged, if not completely undermined. Ukraine will no longer be fulfilling the NATO mission, which raises the question of who will fulfill it.